Hello, misadventurers. I am Kat Kruger. My pronouns are she, her, and I am usually the dungeon master here, or storyteller, or GM, or whatever at D20 Dames. But today I am playing Mack Guffyn, a delivery person, a courier in Delivered. It's a solo RPG. Thank you for the hat comment. Yes, I got this because my kid loves Grogu from Mandalorian, another space exploration IP here, and I thought it would be fitting to put on a little ball cap. Oh, Twitch was not working earlier? Good to know. Ah, okay. Yeah, so on that note about Twitch, actually, so Twitch Studio, I realized the last time I logged in, they're actually discontinuing support of Twitch Studio. So I have 1 week to figure out how to stream from my Mac, and I think it's going to involve OBS, which is again supported. Um, the reason I made the switch to Twitch Studio was because I was having difficulty with OBS on my Mac, and I think it was because it wasn't supported for a period of time, and now it's supported again. And thankfully, yeah, it's uh, it's going to be a steep learning curve for this next week here as I try to figure out how to stream from OBS. So there's a possibility that I might not be streaming next week, but we'll see how difficult it is. Um, anyway, I'm here for this week. Thanks for joining, everyone. And I'm playing Delivered by our friend Cage, who is in chat right now as a moderator, friend of the Dames. So in the last session, which was 2 weeks ago, we did character creation. So I am playing Mack Guffyn, a space courier. This is her first job as a courier. She sort of came into the job in a strange way. She met somebody who worked for the Unquestionable Delivery Service organization, and their motto is basically, don't ask questions, no questions asked, that sort of thing. Um, I'm picturing the logo is basically a question mark, but with that red circle and the diagonal red line across it. And so they deliver sketchy things, but because Mac, I'm playing as a character who doesn't have a lot of, I guess, like awareness of what's going on around her. Um, she doesn't necessarily understand that there's illegal stuff happening, or she doesn't care. Um, so the stats here are her body is, she's got a body score of 1, wit is 2, and social is 4. So she's sort of unwittingly able to get around kind of socially. I'm playing her sort of as like what I love about Delivered is it really reminds me of Futurama. So this is sort of how I'm playing it, where she's, I guess, like a young adult who is just trying to get away from, I guess, the baggage and obligations of her job. She was working at the office, um, and she got offered this job, and it was just a way to sort of escape. Nothing suspicious to see in these packages at all. So, with that said, we are in essentially session 1, and what we need to do is figure out what parcel we're delivering. So I'm going to go into the document that I printed out here, the game, and go to that page. So it says here, lifting off, playing the game. Once you have your courier set up in your captain's log, shuffle your deck of cards to prepare to pick up your parcel. So this is played using a standard deck of playing cards, which I have here. I'm going to shuffle it in the only way I know how to do it, unless I'm doing a pile shuffle. So then it says here, each turn or day follows a specific order after your courier picks up the parcel. So it's 1, generate an event for the day; 2, take up to 3 actions to resolve the event; 3, reduce active timers by 1 to end the day. And then this repeats until your courier completes or fails the delivery, at which time they pick up a new parcel. This process continues until the game ends. Okay. So picking up a parcel. Cage, I guess since you're in chat here, when do I determine what the parcel is? After you pick up the parcel. Okay. To pick up a parcel, flip over the top card of your deck. Okay. The face value on the card determines how many successful actions you must take before the parcel is considered delivered. Okay, so I have an 8. All right, and I think I read here that I needed to get a die, but I'm just going to go through all the steps here. The suit determines which die is used as a timer. The max number on the die is how many days your courier has to deliver the package. Okay, so the suit here is spades, so I get a D10. This is my, so it's a spice jar, but it's actually a dice jar. So, because, oh, I'll be right back. Of course, it was the D4 that fell, the most dangerous of all die. All right, let's see. There we go. Okay. D10. All right. All right, so I am on suit determines. Okay, so I have to have 8 successful actions and 10 days to deliver the package. Okay. Set the card to the side and place the timer die on the top of the card with the highest number of die facing up. If you aren't using a set of polyhedral, that's not important, but I'll read it anyway, just in case, so everybody here can learn along with me. If you aren't using a set of polyhedral dice, or if you're planning multiple sessions, you can also keep track of timers in Captain's Log. Describe the parcel and the destination your courier is delivering it to in your Captain's Log. Does a short delivery time mean the parcel could spoil? Does a longer delivery time mean the destination is further away? Okay, so yeah, I think it's a pretty respectable first package. It's, I mean, the highest number of days that we can get here is a D12. So, um, and king would be a 13. So yeah, it's pretty decent. Yeah, a king would be. Is that like instant fail? Um, okay. We had some we had some suggestions in Discord. So if you're not part of our D20 Dames Discord community, It is open to our patrons. I'm not actually sure how that works right now because we paused our Patreon while we're just sort of figuring out what we're doing next for our podcast. Um, but yeah, we have a Discord community, and in Discord, I was noticing that there were some suggestions here, and one of them was, I think it wound up being um, like little battle bots. Hello, Jacob. Thanks for joining. Also, Cage mentioned that you are also facing the same issue that I'm going to be facing in a week's time about streaming on Twitch Studio on the Mac. So maybe we can be like learning buddies to figure out how OBS works on Mac. um, all right. So we have a suggestion here that I really like, and it's basically like little battle bots being delivered. Yeah, I know it is a pain about Twitch Studio, especially because it was such a last minute thing to have discovered. I think the announcement was made maybe sometime last week, definitely within the last 2 weeks. So anyway, battle bots. I think this is a really good. Um, Same here, Kate. It's the web captioner is what I'm using, and need to figure out what to do there. But the other dames have been using Google for their web captioning, so that might be Pixel Chat. Yeah, I'm just gonna go into Discord and chat with everybody for tech support, I think, or mutual support. Um, okay, so unless somebody has a different idea, I think I'm gonna go with these battle bots because I have to have 8 successes within a 10-day period. Um, Honestly, because I'm playing this as like a Futurama type game, like the failures are going to be funny, and I don't actually mind if Mac doesn't make all the deliveries here. All right, so I Mac is going to be delivering these battle bots. I feel like she doesn't necessarily know that they're battle bots, though. Um, I think she knows that they're little robots that need to get delivered. Um, and she has to go a longer distance away. Um, and then it says here, oh yes, Mac. The failures are, I think they're going to be pretty epic. Accepting additional parcels. So some prompts give an opportunity to acquire additional parcels, meaning Mac may be juggling multiple deliveries at once, which would be hilarious for her first courier job. Be sure to add a new timer for this delivery. Completion of this delivery does not generate as a new delivery, as this is in addition to the primary delivery. Okay, so one, generating an event. At the beginning of each day, flip a card to generate an event that occurs. Use the appropriate table, see event tables below, to determine the nature of the event based on the suit and face value of the card. Okay, so let's go over here and get into the journal first. Or maybe I'm going to take a look at your sample here. Page. Okay, so first I'm going to It is very helpful, Gage, that you have all these examples in here. Um, so here's my journal. I picked, in all of my journals, I like picking different little stickers to put on the top to delineate when a new entry is happening. So I've got parcel 1. Days remaining, 10, and then successes. How am I going to do this? I am going to put an 8 over here. Okay, and then in Mack's journal, let's write good morning, Latina Geek. Maybe we can um, come up together with a faraway destination name, maybe a different quadrant in this world here. Look up some names here. Okay, I'm gonna go with Ypsilon quadrant. All right, so I've got, we are on parcel 1, days remaining 10. Um, haven't done anything in terms of successes yet. This is just the picking up of the parcel. So, day 1 on the job, and I'm heading to one of the furthest outreaches in the galaxy, Epsilon Quadrant. The box I'm delivering is making lots of beeps and boops and whirring sounds. On the manifest, it says droid, so I guess these little guys are just eager to get to where they're going. All right, so then I generate an event, which I do by drawing another card. And I got a joker. Thanks, Cage. Let's see what this joker means. Sometimes I see a joker and I'm like, oh, is this going to trigger something? Something that I don't want? Was I supposed to take the jokers out? Oh no. Cage, I'm glad you're in chat. There's rules that I probably read and um, just forgot because it's been 2 weeks. Okay. Bear with me, just under completing the package. Okay. Drawing a joker. Here we go. In bold. Thank you, Cage, for doing that. It's I really like how you formatted it because they're so easy to find. Okay, if you draw a joker, regardless of whether this happens while picking up a parcel or generating an event, you may choose to play it immediately or save it for later use. Jokers can be used to change any one stat roll into a partial success, increase the timer by 1, or immediately discard a drawn card and draw again. Once used, a joker is discarded. Describe in your captain's log what stroke of luck occurred to assist you in your journey. That is amazing because I just feel like it's such a Mac thing to happen on day 1, right? She probably fumbles something, but some stroke of luck changes it. All right, so I'm going to save that to see what happens next. So there's a 10 now. So I generate an event in the events table that's a 10 of clubs. 10 of clubs. You roll on a planet and run into an old friend who seeks an adventure. If you roll a success on this event, they join you for the rest of one of your active deliveries. Who is the crew member? How do they impact your journey? Include them in all captain's log entry until the delivery is complete. Okay, so here we go. In your captain's log, describe what led to this event, then choose a stat uh, then choose a stat which should be related to the action to resolve the event. Depending on the result of your first action, your courier may want to use other stats to continue resolving the day's event. You may take up to 3 actions each event, but you may only use each stat once. To determine if an action is successful, roll as many d4s as you have stat points for the stat you're using to resolve the event. Your result is the highest roll. Okay, so I think in this case, um, I know super unprofessional, but this is like I love how this is all playing out because it is exactly how I imagined Mac's first day going. It's just like um, not professional at all. So because it is an old friend, I think I'm going to use social, which makes sense, and that's her highest um, stat. She's got 4 for social. Um, and depending on the result of your first action. Okay, so I need, what do I need to do to resolve this? Writing out a statement of what you want to have happen on a successful roll. Okay. Okay. So day one, and I'll put 10 of clubs. Oops. I also need to go back into my journal page here. Here we go. I think I'm gonna grab my little moon stars icon here. Maybe not. I think I will use that just to delineate different parcels. Day, whoops, day one. Who is this person going to be, first of all? All right. An old friend. All right, we'll see Gage in a little bit. Old friend. I feel like this is going to be somebody who, yeah, that's a good point, Andy. I feel like this person is probably more like streetwise, but was someone who just had a lot of fun with Mac together, and they probably got into a lot of trouble together, um, and that's why it makes sense that she just kind of wants to. She would want to hang out with this person. Um, I'm just trying to think of where she would have met this person or what they would have done together. Um, hmm, yes, hijinks. This is sort of like the bender to Max Fry, you know. I want this person maybe to be an alien species, maybe like a hmm, thinking like some type of alien fey creature, you know, because I feel like they would be up for more shenanigans and hijinks and tricks. Um, So I think I'm gonna name the character Shania, but it's actually short for like shenanigans or shenanigina or something like that. Shenanag. Maybe it's Shanana, not Shania. Yeah, Shanana, short for shenanigans. Okay. Um, so um, I will write in my journal that I want a positive result here. Um, what you want to have happened. All right, so I'm going to write, what do they call those? Like, um, when truckers have, uh, you often see like a whole bunch of trucks off to the side of the road at like a diner. Is that like, I can't think of what the name could be. Um, it's like a hub, but there's usually a diner attached to it. Truck stop. Why could it? Truck stop. How come I couldn't think of those two words? To a space shuttle stop? Rocket stop. Rocket ship stop. I'm gonna pause here for a moment because I have a truck stop. Yes. I'm gonna pause here for a moment because my kid Grayson, he's 4 and he's sometimes he says really funny things, and one of the things he said recently was he was talking about space exploration and rocket ships, and he said that some people call them rocket ships, but I call them space shuttles because it's more scientific. Uh, All right. So um, I wrote in here, after pulling into a rocket ship stop for a refuel, me and the ship, I bumped into my old friend, Shanana from Finlandia. She was hitching her way across the galaxy, and after catching up for a bit, I asked if she wanted to join me on this delivery. That doesn't need to be a question mark. Okay. Um, okay. I have chipped a nail. I am going to be right back. I need to pause for one moment here because, ow. 1 second here. Okay, I'm back with the volume back on. Okay, so now I need to roll the successes here. And I need to double check. In your captain's log, describe what led up to this event, then choose a stat to resolve the event. Okay. Oh, here we go. The results. Okay, so I'm going to roll my first d4. That's a partial success, but I get to roll as many times as I want, or as many times as my stat has numbers. So I've got 4 rolls. So that was a 3 is my highest so far. Another 3. You know what though? I'm reading here, partial success. You get what you want, but things get complicated. I think I'm actually going to leave it at that because, of course, it does. Um, I think that Shanana maybe like partial successes are the most entertaining outcomes in RPGs. I agree. And in this case, I think Shanana um, probably has something on her that she doesn't let Mac in on until they are um, blasting off. Okay. I also need to remember to add my NPC list. Thank you, Jacob, for that excellent tip. NPC. So now we have Shanana. From Landia. Okay, and then I'm just going to add more to my journal action here. All right, so added to the journal here, we have, or Captain's log. Um, we headed on board my ship to sleep before our next day on the space road. Weirdly, there were a bunch of noises in addition to the box of droids, so I didn't get a good night's rest, but I remembered that's all par for the course when hanging out with Shanana. Okay, so that is, I'm going to write down that is one success here. Put one little star here. And then we will go to, I don't know, do I have enough room here? Day two. Day two. Okay, so I still have my joker, which is great. And so we're counting down the days. This is going to be moving my die down to, where is the 9? Here we go. Day 9. Okay. Okay. So I've reduced my timer. And I just keep going until I deliver this package. Okay. A role success in the narrative provides room for another role. You may continue with that event. On the other hand, if a fail rolls, the day ends. Okay, I'm just going to take a look at the samples here because I might be able to do more actions, it seems like. Day 2 and day 1 examples. Day 1, and then oh, I should have added on top here. Just give me a second here while I am still getting used to formatting everything, I think. So I'm gonna move this all down a bit so that I can put my role on the top here. It was social, partial success. Okay. Okay, so then I'm going to go on to day 2. Draw a new card. Here we go. I got another 10, but it is the 10 of hearts this time. So what do we have here? 10 of hearts. Okay. In this game, in particular, partial successes are often a great route to making additional success failure rolls. Oh, so Jacob, you've played this before. Do you think I should be, does that mean maybe I investigate, like it could be potentially like Mack investigates what's going on with the box and then um, uh, see if that's a success or failure. I think that's what you're saying, and I think that's a really good call actually. So I'm going to pause for a moment to do that. In that case, that kind of thing, yeah. So in that case, I'm gonna use, I think, wit. It's not the strongest ability score here, but I think because Mac is going to investigate what the sound is, I'm gonna use that. So I have a score of 2 there, so I can roll. And I think what I'm supposed to be doing is just rolling all of my die at the same time, but I only unfortunately have 1d4 here, so I just have to roll it a couple times. So I'll roll both and see what I've got here. So I've got a 1, which is definitely a fail, and another 1. All right. Yes, one of the abilities that I haven't used yet. Thank you for that. So we did have a fail there, which means, what is it? Absolute failure. You don't get what you want, and things get a lot worse. Okay, which is amazing. So I'm gonna put wit, absolute failure. This is good. Um, all right, so this is good. All right. So, with the wit absolute failure, we've got the extra sounds were bothering me enough that I got up in the middle of the night to investigate. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw some shadowy creature dart around the cargo hold. I grabbed the closest makeshift weapon I could find and swung a broom out at it a few times, but it was way too fast. Then it found a hole in the box of droids. In the Then it found a hole in the box of droids and scurried inside. So I did what any rational person would do and covered the hole with duct tape. So I feel like this is going to lead up to something bigger happening with the box of droids. Um, and since we're heading into uh, day 2 now because of that failure, I am going to um, take a quick bio break and then I will be back to see what happens on day 2. Oh my gosh, poor Mac, but also this is ridiculously fun. All right, I will be back in about 5 minutes. It won't be a very long break. All right. Hello all. I'm back. This was a short break. Cage, I can catch you up since I'm coming back from break and recap would be good. So, let's see. Where did we leave off? Mac is delivering a box of droids. She made a space, basically a truck stop at the end of her day and met up with an old friend named Shanana, which is short for shenanigans, and she's from Phalandia. Um, and Shanana has been hitchhiking around the galaxy and uh, used to get up to hijinks with Mac, and Mac was eager to get Shanana back on board, so offered to um, sort of shuttle Shanana to this quadrant that she's going to deliver this box of droids. It was a partial success, which I wanted anyway, so I took the partial success. And the complication is that uh, in addition to, so they went on board to sleep, and there was, in addition to the box of droid noises, there were other noises. Um, because in my head, Shanana has brought something on board with her without telling Mac what it was. Um, so Mac investigated, and wit is not her strong suit, and so she saw a shadowy figure uh, around the near the box, and sort of just grabbed the closest thing that she could think of as a weapon, and it happened to be a broom. She just swatted at this creature a couple times, and it managed to dart into a hole in the box of droids, and Mac sealed the hole with some duct tape. So that is where we are right now. I figured I didn't need to necessarily resolve what happens. Yes, as you do. As she wrote in her journal, any rational person would do that. And so we now have a box of droids that makes a lot of noise, and there's something in the box with the droids. So yeah, we're now on day two. Um, I drew I still have my Joker available. So I feel like I'm probably going to use this at some point if I have a fail and really need a success. I love this chaos too. This is Cage. This is exactly how I was hoping that this game was going to play out, and I'm loving it. Um, so I drew this 10 of hearts, which I'm keeping. Um, Basically, there was a moment where I wasn't sure if I had to like push the game mechanics if I succeeded, and Jacob let me know that so long as I use different skills, I can continue to sort of do different things, and how I went with that's how Mac chased the creature by using wit to investigate the noises. So we're on day two. Mac has not slept very well because of all the noise and like having to chase after this creature. And now we're on day nine. I drew the 10 of hearts, and so this means you receive a distress signal from a nearby vessel. The sole crew member requests a rescue. All right. So taking your advice here, Cage, I'm going to write down what I hope to accomplish here. Um, I think like Mac is like, I got another 10. Yeah, I know. It's kind of wild. And this deck has definitely been uh, shuffled many, many times, but we'll see uh, what happens next. I'm bound to get some like lower cards soon. Um, I think Mac is she's not exactly altruistic. There is gonna be a party in the ship, I think, but she's also like, she's it's a distress call, so she's not gonna just like leave this person behind. So I think what she wants to accomplish is like she's hoping that it's just not going to be a lot of work, right? And that this person that she's rescuing um, is going to be somebody fun to sort of liven up this journey, um, which is already lively because of her friend Shanana. All right, so I'm going to write my journal. All right, day two, 10 of Hearts, and here's the captain's log. Just as I plotted the course to my next stop, there was even more beeping. Shanana pointed out a blinking red light under an SOS label. I really hope whoever we're about to save is cool. All right, so now, hmm, is this maybe a social interaction? When an action requires interpersonal aptitude such as empathy, humor, patience. I think so. I think it's basically whether or not Matt gets along with whoever this person is that's in distress. So let's write in here that it's going to be a social role. Oh, navigating. You could do body, navigating the ship close to theirs. Wait to determine the best way to load them onto the ship. Oh, okay. No right answer. Maybe what I'll start with is body for the navigation, and then if that's okay, although body is probably the worst one, if it works out, um, I could push it for a social interaction. Okay, so let's go with body first. And I do still have my joker, so that's helpful. A 2 is partial failure. You don't get what you want. But I have that joker, which I think I'm going to use because I think it would be hilarious to have a third person on board here. So I can change one stat roll into a partial success, which I think I'm going to do. So I'm going to discard my joker, turn this into a partial success. What does that look like? Get what you want, but things get complicated. So I think what's going to happen is sort of get next to the ship, but it causes more damage, and I think it's going to cause, yeah, cause some damage, further damage to the ship. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. All right. Mm. So with the bloody partial success, I've written in the captain's log. So navigating a courier ship next to a space fishing vessel is not the easiest. The ship in distress was more distressed after, like on fire distressed. Um, I'm going to say that the person who called in um, was probably able to jump on board because that's the partial success part of it. Um, and so I'll add that to this here. All right. So I'm adding, but the captain of the ship jumped on board my ship. But the captain of the, hold on, captain of that ship. But the captain of that ship jumped on board my ship with cat-like reflexes because, well, she was a Qatari. So I'm saying that Qatari are catfolk, basically, space catfolk. And next, I'm going to add another page here, and I need to try a social interaction and see how that goes. Now with this one, I have 4. So I got a 2, a 1, a 4. Obviously going to take the 4. All right, my first absolute success. You get what you want and more. Okay, so absolute success. So what Mac wanted from this was somebody who was cool and would add to the dynamic of the ship. Hello, Jane. We're having so much fun with Delivered right now. Mac is on day 2 of her first day at work, and she's already picked up a hitchhiker who is an old friend named Shanana, who is from Feylandia. It's like a Fey world, and Shanana had, unknown to Mac, brought along some kind of creature, and Mac tried to. Mac noticed it um, in the cargo hold and swatted at it, and it wound up in the box of droids that she is currently shipping. And then she taped it shut in there because that's what you do. And now she just rescued a Qatari, which is a catfolk, space catfolk from. Um, there was a distress call that she was answering, and managed to, like, I guess, like, smash into the space fishing vessel, and now the space fishing vessel is on fire as this Qatari has jumped onto the courier ship. Um, but I got an absolute success on the social aspect of this, which is what Mac wanted was that the person that she was rescuing was like somebody who would be cool to hang out with, and so I think that with the success, she gets what she wants. So yeah, the successes have been good, and the failures have been also good. Actually, they've been very funny. All right, so socially, let me see what I'm gonna write here. And Cage, I have to say, I feel like this is probably gonna take more than 4 or 5 sessions, just because I am playing it. I feel like I'm playing it slow. We're on day 2, but there's so much that's happening right now, and I love it. Ah, um, okay. You're welcome, Jane. Okay, let's see what's gonna go on here with this social aspect here. All right, so here we go. I'm just going back in chat here. "33 days for Jacob." Yeah, I don't know how many days this is gonna take, but I'm enjoying it so much that I'm gonna love this. So we've got social absolute success. Here's the captain's log. We sped off from the fiery vessel before it exploded, and I wasn't sure if the Qatari captain would be kind of mad, but she made her way into the cockpit, curled up in a chair, and just said, "Mondays, am I right?" She introduced herself as Maep, and I offered to drop her off at the next landing. Um, okay, so I need to go back in my journal here and write. I did have one success today. Mm. So I've done body and social for the day. Um, I think that might be it. I was thinking about maybe investigating the box again, but I don't know if Mac really has that much like interest, so long as the box doesn't seem like it's doing too much. Um, yeah, maybe she'll ask. Maybe she'll ask Shanana about it. Oh, I know what's going to happen. So I think Shanana is going to be sort of looking around the ship for the creature that she's missing. Um, still without telling Mac that there is a creature on the ship. Uh, and I'm going to see if um, Mac notices. So this is a wit roll. Um, and I will roll twice because that's what the stat is. That's a 3 partial success and 3 partial success. You get what you want, but things get complicated. Oh, nice. So now I need to figure out what kind of creature is stuck in a box with the droids, the battle bots. Um, what would a fey creature have? Um, some kind of pixie or sprite or oh, I think it's going to be a mushroom. An animated mushroom of some kind that can make fairy rings. Um, yes, fairy rings that are transporting these bots to other locations. Okay. Yes, Shanana really earns their name for sure. All right. Um, Oh my gosh. This is I'm basically crying Gage because this is ridiculous, but I also love this game so much. Um, Thank you for giving me Futurama a game, basically. Okay, gonna think of what's right in the captain's log now. Um, All right, so here we go. Wit, partial success. Yeah, I know you did not intend this to be a super Futurama, but as soon as you mentioned the game concept, it was the first thing that came to mind, and I'm enjoying this immensely. All right, so I'm going to read this captain's log. So this was wit, partial success after rescuing the ape. Um, all right, here we go. While on autopilot, I took a break to play some AR games when I noticed Shanana was looking for something. She tried to pretend she wasn't, but I know her tell, and the glitter she was shedding meant she was hiding something big. It's not big, she insisted. In fact, it's just a tiny little fun guy. At those words, I realized the little shadow I had sealed in the box of droids was probably fairy ringing my cargo all over the galaxy. No wonder it was so quiet. We removed the duct tape so Shanana could lure her pet out before I closed up the hole again. When I kicked at the box, there were beeps and boops still, but not at the same level as before. Hopefully, nobody notices, and the droids who made it to other places find a good home. Um, all right, so let's see. Was that another success? Yeah, so I can add another success back here. I'm just going to move this here. So we've got 3 out of 8 successes, and we are now on we're moving into day 8. Sorry, yeah, timer goes down to 8. Just going to write a note for myself here. Timer down to 8 from 8 of spades. And I think that's actually as far as we get today, because I actually have a meeting in about 10 minutes here. So I'm going to wrap it up. I don't think I would have been able to get that much further in less than 9 minutes either, just because of the way that I'm playing this. Yeah, so Mac is, she's on day 2, heading into day 3 um, of her career job. So far, it has been incredibly eventful. So Mac has met an old friend, Shanana, short for shenanigans, a little fungi pet, um, and Meep, the Qatari catfolk captain of the fishing vessel that was crashed into and is on fire somewhere or exploding in space. Um, thank you everyone for joining the shenanigans and hijinks of this particular solo RPG, which was written by Cage, designed by Cage. I'm having so much fun with this. It's definitely going to take more than the 4 or 5 sessions that I thought it was going to, but that's okay because I'm really enjoying this. I hope you're enjoying this. For anyone who is not familiar with D20 Dames, you can find all of our stuff at d20dames.com. Our Patreon is currently kind of on pause for billing, but I am posting my journal or captain's log entries there right now. You can also find us, well, on our Patreon. It's patreon.com/d20dames. And yeah, we're currently running a little bit of Brindlewood Bay, which is Jen Vaughn is running, and still looking at what we're doing next in terms of like the podcast direct stuff. So yeah, I will hopefully see you next week. I need to work out what I'm doing because Twitch Studio is shutting down as of next Monday, which means I need to find another solution. So I will let you know on Discord and on our socials if I'm not able to resolve that before Monday. All right. Anyway, until next time, misadventure, wait.